You already know that feeling. It's late. You have something important tomorrow. A test, a presentation, a meeting that could change everything. And your brain simply will not stop. You keep replaying that conversation from 3 days ago. You keep running through every possible way tomorrow could go wrong. You close your eyes and instead of silence, you get more noise. That loop you're stuck in right now, it's not a personal failure. It's biology. And in the next minutes, I'm going to show you 2 science-backed techniques that interrupt that loop fast. One of them you can use right now while watching this. Your brain has a background program. Neuroscientists call it the default mode network. But think of it as the browser tabs. Your mind leaves open when it has nothing specific to focus on. For most of human history, that program kept us alive. It scanned for threats, rehearsed social situations, planned ahead. The problem is that your brain never got the update that says the deadline stress of a college exam and the stress of being chased by a predator are not the same thing. So it treats both with the same level of urgency. If you're a student, that looks like lying in bed at midnight replaying every answer you wrote on last week's exam, convinced you failed, even though you studied for weeks. If you're building something, a business, a career, a project, it looks like sitting in silence after a long day, and suddenly your mind is running a full audit of every decision you made in the last 6 months. A Harvard study found that people spend nearly 47% of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they're actually doing. And that mental wandering consistently predicted lower levels of happiness, regardless of what activity they were doing. This is not you being weak. This is a very old system running in a very modern world. And here's what changes everything. In about 60 seconds, I'm going to show you the fastest way to interrupt this loop, and it starts with your breath. The first technique is called box breathing. It's used by Navy SEALs before high-stakes operations and studied extensively by researchers who work with the autonomic nervous system. The science behind it is simple. When you control your breath in a specific rhythm, you directly activate the vagus nerve, the main line of communication between your body and your brain's safety system. When the vagus nerve activates, your body stops producing cortisol at the rate it was producing before. Your heart rate slows. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thought, comes back online. Your brain receives one clear signal: you are safe. The loop loses its fuel. Here's how you do it. 4 counts in through the nose. Hold for 4 counts. 4 counts out through the mouth. Hold for 4 counts. That's 1 cycle. We're going to do this together right now. Get comfortable wherever you are. If you can, sit up straight. You don't need to close your eyes. Just soften your focus. Follow my count. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Again, in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. One more time. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Notice what just happened in your body. That slight heaviness settling into your shoulders. That small release in your jaw. That's not relaxation as a concept. That's your nervous system physically letting go of the tension it was holding. Box breathing doesn't ask your mind to stop thinking. It changes the chemistry underneath the thoughts so the thoughts lose their grip. Use it before bed, before a high-pressure situation, or the moment you notice the spiral starting. 3 cycles is enough. Now, that calmed your body. But what about when your body is calm and your mind is still talking? That's where the second technique comes in. And this one is the one I personally use right before I sleep. Technique 2 is called thought labeling, and it works on a completely different mechanism. Box breathing works from the body up. It changes your physiology first, and your mental state follows. Thought labeling works from the inside out. It changes your relationship to the thoughts themselves. Here's the core idea. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. Most of the suffering that comes from overthinking doesn't actually come from the thoughts. It comes from the fact that we climb inside them and live there. We don't just notice the thought, "What if I fail tomorrow?" We inhabit it. We expand it. We build an entire story around it until that story feels more real than the room we're sitting in. Thought labeling is a technique rooted in a branch of psychology called acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. It was developed by researchers at the University of Nevada and has been validated in dozens of clinical studies as one of the most effective tools for reducing the emotional charge of intrusive thoughts. The mechanism is called cognitive diffusion, and what it does is create distance between you and the content of the thought, so that the thought loses its ability to pull you into the spiral. Here's how it works. The next time a thought comes in and tries to take over, instead of following it, you name it. Quietly, neutrally, without judgment. Just a category. Planning, worrying, replaying. That's it. Not "stop thinking about this." Not "this is stupid." Just a label. Let me show you what that looks like in practice. Say you're lying in bed and this thought appears. "I said the wrong thing in that meeting today, and now my manager probably thinks I'm not ready for this." Without thought. Labeling. That thought becomes a 40-minute conversation with yourself. With thought labeling, you notice it, and you say, either out loud or silently, replaying, and then you let it pass. You're not suppressing the thought. You're not pretending it doesn't exist. You're just choosing not to move in with it. The thought exists. You acknowledge it, and you watch it move through, the way you'd watch a cloud cross the sky without trying to stop it or hold it. Do this for 5 minutes before sleep. Every time a thought surfaces, give it a label and let it pass. Clinical research shows this practice reduces rumination significantly within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use. But you'll feel the difference tonight. 2 techniques, 7 minutes. You now have in your hands what most people spend years searching for, in productivity apps, in sleep supplements, in late-night Google searches about how to quiet a busy mind. Tonight, before you sleep, try this. 5 minutes of thought labeling. Just 5 minutes. Every thought that comes, label it and let it pass. That's your only challenge, not a list of 10 things. The next video in this series goes deeper. Just that one. If overthinking lives in the mind, anxiety lives in the body. And there's a specific reset for that too. I'll show you exactly how to clear it in under 10 minutes. If you want to keep building this, one pillar at a time, subscribe, because that video is coming next. And before you go, you're not someone who overthinks. You're someone who now knows how to reset.